In this vast world of billions of people, each person has their own unique destiny. Some are born in healthy and strong, enjoying life to the fullest in joy and happiness. But in that world, there are many who are born into hardship, poverty, and deprivation, material, spiritual, and even physical. That they still live, they still strive, refusing to surrender to fate. Some have achieved global recognition like Nick Vujicic, a world-renowned motivational speaker, or Ian Clark, a famous wrestler and athlete, who is the fastest man on two hands and Guinness World Records. But there are so many other people who are not so fortunate, who lack the means and ability to venture out into the world, that they still live, they still exist, but we just don't know about them. Today I will tell you a story about this man. His name is Hermes Rugonda. Rugonda was born in a small poor village of Tanzania. He is now 40 years old and he has no arms. Every activity in daily life is easy with us, but it's not with Rugonda. We can use our arms to take off our shirt, but he can't. We can use our hands to hold a chalk, but he can't. We use a hoe in normal way to clear weeds out of our garden, but he must do it his way. We can use our arms to lift the log, but he must do like this. We use our hands to perform this skill, and he uses his neck. And we simply use our hands to eat a cord, but it's not easy for him. Everything seems normal, but it's impossible for him. At his birth, doctors and his parents were shocked because this was their first time seeing a baby born with our arms. Before him, his parents had a daughter, but she is healthy and strong. They didn't understand why Rugonda was born like that. After giving birth to him, at first, his mother didn't want to leave the hospital, hoping the doctors could do some things about his arms. But doctors told her that they couldn't do anything because this would be beyond their ability. His parents had no other choice but taking him home and raised him like any other kids. In his childhood, he used to hide himself a lot because of his impairment. He couldn't manage to get along with other kids in his village. But time after time, he embraced himself and got along with every kid. He did go to school like other pupils, but because of the problem of born impaired, he couldn't pursue his study because the school could give him 1.5 extra time to finish his exams. He could just write with his legs, which were difficult for him without hands. He lacked enough speed to keep and use this time very well, compared with other pupils who had no problem at all. And he also didn't join any schools for impaired pupils because in his poor village didn't have that kind of schools, and his parents couldn't afford to send him to any school in the big city. Every his skill in life now was taught by his father, who passed away few years ago. His father used to say to him that he might pass away sometimes, and he wanted his son must be able to take care of himself before that time comes, because there would never be any other people to help him. Born with a lot of differences with others, many people wonder how he cultivates and harvests crops by himself and even managed to store them at home, but now he can do it all perfectly. And you might wonder if he ever got married, right? Yes, he had and has a son, but his wife and his son left him few years ago. Now he lives with his mother. He have never got married again. Why? Because in his village, people were so scared of him due to his impairment, which was his biggest obstacle. After the death of his father, the life of him and his mother got more difficult because his father was a primary breadwinner in the family. Fortunately, Rugonda has this nephew who willingly help him anytime without conditions, and sometimes they'll be benefactor him and help his family with some things necessary, so things help his family's life better than a little bit. I've heard this quote somewhere. You can control the wind, but you can adjust yourself. It means it's not about what happens to you, it's how you react. We couldn't choose our life, but we could choose how to live with it. Despite all difficulties life brought to him, he still lives a happy life, working tirelessly without complaint, because he knows he had an elderly mother to take care of and was a support in her old age. And God did bless him. After his story went viral, many generous donors had contributed to support him, not only with necessary things, but also money. These are miracle things that he's never dreamed of. Now he has a better life with a herd of cows of his own, a big new house, and the most beautiful thing with him is his wife. Superi returned to him with his son after abandoning him of poverty. Now they live happily together in the new house and have one more member. And here we was told about their love story. They meet each other when Rugonda was 20 years old. He didn't court her, they just lived together. She couldn't understand how she could live with an impaired man like him. Even her friends were asking her how a beautiful woman like her can live with a man like him, ignoring all the good guys out there. But love has its own ways, right? She found herself in love with him. Because Rugonda doesn't like being in touch with groups of men, he lives in peace with all. He says every little thing he gets with us, and that makes him a perfect man for her. After she returned to him from her parents, Rugonda went back to her parents' house to ask for their permission to marry her. It's a beautiful story. From now on, they can live happily in better conditions and raise their children together. It's like a miracle turning the impossible into the possible. And somewhere in our world still exists a miracle like that. Let me tell you one more story. He was 41 years old, and he's a disabled man. He must walk like this and this, but he was not born like that. He was born healthy and strong like any other kids. When he was between age 6 and 7, he was suffered an unknown disease that left him disabled for the rest of his life. One day when he woke up and went fetching water down in the valley, arrived home from the valley, his body was so weak he couldn't do anything else but lying on the bed. His parents wondered what had gone wrong with him. Days after his parents saw him developing unusual size, they immediately took him to the nearby hospital. He was treated but still no positive outcome. Instead, his legs muscle started being stiff. Things got worse to the point that his body became as stiff as a tree. At that time, he could no longer turn himself around. That mysterious illness shocked his parents, doctors, and other people. After his body started folding itself, he was even given physiotherapy, but the illness never healed, and he ended up becoming like this for the rest of his life. With most of us, this terrible shock would knock us down, but not Uziel. He got up, overcame it, and never gave up. He learned everything from scratch with his disabled legs to adapt to his life, and pretending as if nothing ever happened, no excuses, no complaint. Uziel is one of a kind that testifies disability is not inability. Despite he can't walk normally, he is a perfect beekeeper, a difficult task even for many normal people, including me. But he has been keeping peace for a long period of time. He said after finding himself disabled, he thought of what to do, and among many options, he chose beekeeping. Because his father also does the same for a living, and finally he managed to do this. He does everything related to beekeeping and does them even more better. To him, he can do each and everything that can help him to earn money. Due to getting used to beekeeping, he only covers his face when harvesting powders of honey. According to him, the strategy he uses here is not being afraid of these bees. He says, the moment bees realize that you are afraid, they sting you up to death. So the key is that you have to pretend to be strong. This man says he will not give time the lazy mentality. Rather, as a man, he had to fight for a living, and this has paid. He says that as long as the head functions, he is ready to even do more. He is a person who always wants to learn and know more. It was this very personality trait that won over his current wife. He met her the first time when she was with her parents in the field, cultivating together. They'd never known each other before, and at the first sight, he fell in love with her. According to him, she is the most beautiful creature he ever seen. And as ordained by God, after 2 days, he met her the second time, and this time she was alone. So he took that occasion and talked to her no matter what. He told her everything from his heart. She was somewhat surprised at first, but then she looked at him and laughed so loud. The way she laughed showed she never expected such to happen, but he was keen on loving her. As she kept coming, he told her how he really loved her. Even him couldn't see this coming true because he could see that she somehow was not interested. She thought maybe he was joking. This could discourage him at one point, but by God's mercy, she finally said yes. And they moved to live together. She says she met a lot of men who had everything a woman can desire, including money, properties, and many more. But she chose to spend the rest of her life with Uziel. So it was not easy due to her parents who never liked him. All her family members, starting from her father, her brother, uncles, aunties, and many more, all went against the idea of seeing their daughter getting married to a disabled person. They said that it's better to remain unmarried and spend the rest of her life home than spend with a person who can't even walk. They pointed at one thing: he will not able to provide for family. After everyone went against her, she felt discouraged, but still loved him. She was depressed, wondering what to choose. But eventually her mother came to her and said, if you both love each other, get married. And he proved to her that her choice was the right one. He provides for his family with 4 children. Besides beekeeping, he recently started and acquired shoe repairing skills. Now he can repair and even make shoes of some kind. Only that the barrier remains having not enough capital to establish his own business. These are 2 miracle stories in real life I'd like to share with you today. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. And I am TewTeTie. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, have a good week.